In this video, you're going to learn how to use Walrus to build mobile apps with Flutter. So yeah, Walrus is a storage layer that is built on the Sui blockchain, right? It is a verifiable data platform for builders in AI and on-chain finance. But trust me, you can use it everywhere else. It works just like your Azure or your Google Big Storage, or literally it is a decentralized storage solution. So you should know how that works. So yeah, to use Walrus on Flutter, yeah, we're going to use the Dartus package. And this package abstracts every complexity, and there are like three ways you can use it here. You can use it with the HTTP, pretty much a public publisher that literally pays everything for you, and then your solution feels like a Web2 solution, right? Or you as a developer handle the publishing yourself, right? You can use it with Relay, right? So the user has their own wallet, right? And they sign the transactions with their own wallet, but then you use Relay where it just makes everything faster, right? So it's typically in the middle, right? And then when you use it directly, right, like how we're going to see in our example in this video, right, we're going to see that we handle the whole encoding and decoding locally, right? I don't think that's good for mobile apps, right, because it might take a little more time. But yeah, the user still signs it with their own wallet, so it's pretty much everything is client side. All right, so to use this, you can just add this to your project normally, Dartus package. But yeah, obviously building Web3 apps, except you're going to be using this mode, right, which uses HTTP, and you don't need to worry about paying anything, right? You're going to want to use a wallet solution, and in this example, we're going to do that locally. So our wallet solution is local, right? But if you're building a production mobile application or desktop application or a website, because this is compatible everywhere, you are going to want to use a wallet solution, right? Non-custodial, custodial, depending on how you're going to handle it. So, and for that, I'm going to recommend a no key, right? So a no key pretty much abstracts everything, all the complexity, and just gives you APIs to use. So you can see here that the user can sign in with pretty much anything, Google, whatever, just name it. And yeah, they also have a lot of other stuff where you can sponsor transactions. They are building in privacy too with seal. Was that with seal? I don't know. But yeah, you can literally just see every other thing. But like I would also want to chip this in, right? So I worked on this AI friendly solution for Web3 developers where you can pretty much see most Web3 packages, and we're still adding more packages, and it's going to be latest. So if you're a dev and you just want to chew some glass, you can come to the docs, right? Maybe obviously you're going to want to read the code base, but this is a good starting point to at least understand things uh in high level, right? So yeah, you can start here, couple the AI to literally like get started understanding Web3. And then we have the Datos package here, right? So you can read about it high levelly. We have pretty much a lot of things, right? Including BLS, right? So BLS is like uh encoding solution pretty much. If we come back here, we're going to see this is direct. So direct uses BLS, right? So yeah, it is like we we use Flutter. There's a Rust BLS package, and then we use Flutter Rust bridge to much bridge it to Flutter, so we can use it with that. um I let's get started into the code base, right? So this is how I prompted using Opus 4.8, and it pretty much one-shotted everything, right? So I told it, hey, this is your skills file. Yeah, so I did not talk about that. Over here at Web3 Flutter, you can just copy these skills, right? Paste it to your AI like I did here. And we're going to notice something in a bit, but paste it to your AI like I did here, and your AI literally has context of using all these packages, right, in one place. So if you are building a Web3 app, you can just say, oh, copy these skills, give it to it, and be like, oh, what packages do I need, this and that, and it's going to figure it out for you, something like that. Right. So notice here, I say we're going to build Walrus share. That's what I called it, and it built it already. We're going to build Walrus share where users can paste their file, right? They can share a link for it to be accessed by others. And then for the for the wallet solution, you should do it locally, blah blah blah. And I gave you SWI knowledge docs, so you can get the SWI knowledge docs here at the SWI documentation, right? It's pretty much an MCP server that allows your AI to know literally everything about SWI, right? So it can do all the work for you simply, and then you can just get it by clicking on use SWI MCP server and whatever code editor that you use. Yeah. So and then we don't want the generic AI design, right? So I gave it my own design skill. Shout out to Dominic Martin, my namesake. So yeah, shout out to him. So we use the nothing design skill over here. Yes, and that's pretty much, obviously tell your AI to make no mistakes. So this would have taken some time. And yeah, I just told you to make sure we're on the latest packages and whatnot. So Opus one-shotted it. It one-shotted it and it built this, right? So this is a good example of how we can use Walrus with Flutter, right? I mean, and there are several use cases, obviously, several use cases. And but yeah, so this is on testnet and we can just attach any file pretty much, right? So what file do I want to attach? This is a movie. This is a .move folder. Let me see if that will work. All right, so and I'm going to store it. So you see, because we're using direct mode, the users have to already have these tokens in their wallet. Right, we should probably call it currencies now. Right, they should have these currencies in their wallet, right? So I funded this wallet from my testnet account, from this wallet. Right, yes, so that is what I did. And yes, so you see it's taking some time because we are literally encoding everything locally. If we look into the code base, we can see from the home page, right? The attached file, and then storing stars results. So yeah, I mean, I can intuitively, you can know what this function does: to copy, to pick file, to store, and whatnot, right? So over here, we're probably going to see UI like wallet section, store section, retrieve section, and the footer. So you want to see how that works, we can dive into the code, but we can see that there is a wallet service, right? And coded here is the wallet exchange. So I faced an issue with wall, it's uploading wall, right? So it's hard to, I mean, it one-shotted it and it works, right? But like, yeah, when I was trying to deposit some wall into the project, I was depositing mem wall if I'm correct or something, and then it had to um work on sort of a swap system, right? So we coded these addresses, and yeah, so I mean, it's pretty much a very basic application. And then there's the Walrus service, and we can see in the Walrus service that we are encoding ourselves, right, for the FFI with Walrus FFI. And so we're using a publisher and an aggregator here to store the data. We're going to write the blob, and then we're going to share the results. And then to fetch the data is very basic, right? The SDK already does a lot of work for us. And yeah, these are just helper files like the FFI loader to determine the file type and whatnot. So we can see here And our blob has been uploaded. This is one previous blob I already got. Let's try to fetch that blob, right? And we can also save it to our system locally, but I'm not going to do that. All right, so with whatever AI solution you are using, it's going to be very easy to build on Walrus. You know, right? So it determined, right, that this is a movie file, obviously. So because he couldn't preview it, I'm just going to save it and try to check it. Just going to try to contains this. So yes, this is our file. This is what we uploaded and we've saved it already. So that's pretty much the basics of building on Walrus. And in this video, we vibe coded. And yeah, that's it. Love you guys.